Okay, yeah, I got the red ball and the camera's rolling. I just wanted to show you folks that live in other nations that snow and ice can exist side by side, and they throw sand on it for car traction and so that people won't slip. But you can see the semi-ice and slushy parts. You can see the glazed ice. Good, how are you? You can see the glazed ice. If you look right down kind of in this area, you see like crunchy snow, and over here you see some crunchy snow, but over here you see like a pathway of ice. And you have to be, like when you're crippled like me especially, but everybody should be cautious and only step in the bare spots or the crunchy snow. Never on glazed ice, never where there's not a dimple in the glazed ice. If there's a patch of glazed ice, see those ruddy looking dimples? You can place like the front of your foot right in even a small dimple, but it should be kind of a little bare at the bottom or a little bit deeper. If it's hardly deep, or if it's not going to grab the sole of your shoe right, what I've actually done is I've kicked some snow on top of glazed ice and then walked on the snow that will crush down on the glazed ice, and it will momentarily support you without slipping. Kind of like putting salt under a salt shaker and tilting the salt shaker on its hindquarters so it stands like this at an angle, because the salt underneath at the bottom is holding up the bottom of the salt shaker on your table. It's an old joke or something. It looks like there's no support, but you put down a small line of salt and you delicately balance the salt shaker in it, and then when you find the balance point in the salt, you take your hand away, and you could even maybe blow away a little of the salt so there's only a few grains holding the salt shaker at an angle. Well, it's the same principle with the snow, that you can kick snow onto ice, but you're better off like semi-ice, like that crunchy slushy looking ice there. But on real glazed ice like this watery dripping stuff that has solidified and frozen, that might even be walkable, because I see lumps like beads on the top and I see a lot of water content. So it might be ice on the surface with water underneath or all over it, but it definitely is lumpy with like rounded looking protrusions of ice sticking up like little ice bubbles. So that might be able to be walked on, and certainly the sand on the ice or snow is good. Even on glazed ice, the sand grabs and digs into the glazed ice and it grabs your sneaker sole. So I just wanted to explain that to you people that have never seen ice and snow. And it's cold enough to keep it here. It's like 28 today, but it's going to drop to 14 degrees Fahrenheit overnight, which is really cold. It's something like -8 to -16 Celsius, something like that. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, that's your lesson for the day on ice and snow, and where to walk on the bare or the sanded or the crunchy or the lumpy or whatever, but do not walk on glazed flat sheet ice. That's the absolute worst. And black ice that just looks like a wet road, because cars spin out and everything on black ice. Anyway, bye bye.